शारदा खाऊच ना रोषेई करुछु रे
Good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग तो डेरी कौन हो जैसे क्लास में
Sir, laptop रे किसी problem हो चुका है. Task बार काम हो गया.
who is sharing
Can I say?
share करना chapter 14 slow page up can you enlarge this page size plus sign is there okay good page up group it's written 1 2 3 whatever written in italics I will telling one by one highlight sign test are you getting me Sambita sign test is it possible to highlight you know how to do that yes it's only two words sign test okay that's all thank you rank sum test bus third not required next page one sample round test serial number 4 okay so in this chapter we'll be covering sign test rank sum test and round test remaining not there okay page down advantage disadvantage all of you note it down it's a self-reading what the advantage disadvantage of non-parametric test you have to make a small note that is important from exam point of view it's very easy you have to read it yourself next look this data no not this one I think have we missed something sorry dear Samita page up kar table number 14.2 कहाँ पर है देख data table number 14.2 next page down next yes now those who have by chance printed book hard copy check 14.2 table Sambita can you put it two page in screen together
I will try, sir.
और ये स्क्रीनशॉट ले ले बड़ा करके हाँ so all of you listen to me this data table is continuing onto the next page there are 40 columns so all of you take a screenshot here and Sambita will take us to the next page all of you have taken a screenshot or at least note down the example number 14.2 okay big सो गया रे अरे कोई तो हाँ करो, स्क्रीनशॉट लिया नहीं लिया अलीबा?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ले लिया।
नेक्स्ट पेज चल, that table, yes, here. So again you take screenshot, इसको नोटबुक में,
सर बुक लेने गया था सर।
इसको नोटबुक में नॉट इन वर्टिकल वे, हॉरिजॉन्टली लंबा सा लिख सकते हो बाद में, 5 मिनट के बाद, ठीक है? भास्कर थोड़ा फेवर करेगा? हाँ, संबिता स्टॉप शेयरिंग। संबिता स्टॉप शेयरिंग। Bhaskar, honestly, please help me. 8:36, those who are attending my class, थोड़ा please dear, attendance मुझे चाहिए, ठीक है? All of you switching video. Bhaskar is taking a screenshot. I'll mark present only 36. बाकी लोग absent मिलेगा. All of you switch on video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Those who want to hide, those who do not like my face, and those who do not want to switch on video, you may sleep under blanket. बाकी लोग तो है ही मेरे पास, ठीक है? आज you might have guessed, we are going to start a new chapter as per our syllabus from exam point of view. And before that, I would like to discuss with you, taking your help, recalling what we had done in semester 1 under testing of hypothesis. All of you, please listen to me carefully for next 5-7 minutes and stop me if I'm going faster and stop me if anything is not clear. And I'll be very happy if you please try to supplement, add something from your own mind, right? Now, if you recall, perhaps I have tried during my last class on ANOVA. We started the last class by convincing ourselves कि testing of hypothesis क्यों करते हैं, कहाँ apply करते हैं, और what we really do in testing of hypothesis. I think we had discussed that. हाँ या ना? One more point I would like to add to that discussion. Please remember, whatever test we have covered so far, most of the cases, thoda bahut, we had some idea about the population. I don't know whether I had used a term called statistic and parameter. Statistic without S, statistics nahi hai. Have I ever used statistic word? Anybody by chance knowing it? Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of statistic? Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, statistics is the study of data, sir.
तो अभी भी सो रहा है. Yes. Get a cup of tea. मम्मी है तो बोल दे. तो पार्टिसिपेट ठीक से नहीं कर रहा है. अरे मैंने बोला स्टैटिस्टिक्स नहीं रे, इसको छोड़ के स्टैटिस्टिक, तो सुन नहीं रहा है. अगर पहले मैंने डिस्कस नहीं किया, if anybody you do not know, say pass. Okay? Yes. स्टैटिस्टिक का डेफिनेशन लिख लो नोटबुक में. Information what we are getting from sample is called statistic. sample में से जो मिलता है, that is called statistic. And the counterpart of statistics, what we get from the entire population, what we tell for the entire population is called parameter. Parameter, population value, statistic, sample value. Is that clear? Now, I'll be taking 2-3 examples. Ohi bike mileage wala. When company is telling our product bike will give you mileage of 60 km, that 60 is Iti Pusti, statistic or parameter. Give a try. Don't worry if it is right or wrong. Bol.
Statistic.
Okay. Sambita, can I allow yes first? Yes, please.
So parameter, sir.
Itisri, sun rahi yes ko. Yes, I'm happy you are correct, but can you explain why it is parameter?
So because because they have taken the entire number of bikes they have sold in the market, and then they have
Itisri, जो 60 kilometer company बोल रहा है, is it for a small sample or the entire product, all product?
The entire product.
Then why you told statistic?
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Do we test that bike mileage वाला? बार बार हमने repeat कर चुके हैं in semester 1. क्योंकि suppose you have doubt, 60 kilometer होगा नहीं होगा? If you have got apprehension, we may go for a test. ठीक है? Whenever we are testing Shriya Sarkar, are we testing all the bikes of the company or we take a sample?
The sample.
Okay. So when you are taking a sample, suppose मान लो कि we conducted test riding of 20 bikes. हमें मिला 59.5. That 59.5 is what?
Statistic.
Yes,
All of you are clear, Sunit? Now,
yes, sir.
please remember, whatever you are observing, experimenting basis or on the basis of a sample, the result, finding, information, all are statistic. Okay, that we use to estimate for the entire population. Having understood the difference between statistic and parameter, let me tell you, many times we may get idea, information beforehand about the population, but in some other cases, we may not be having idea on the population. जैसे 2 साल पहले कोविड के बारे में किसी को पता नहीं था. We didn't know how critical, how deadly a virus called COVID. धीरे धीरे पता चला from Wuhan, maybe some other country, then from Delhi, some pockets, then it spread like wildfire. Gradually, when we tested, experienced, then we came to know the fatality or the rate is around 4-5%. Fatality 4-5% means what, Sambita? Out of syllabus question, ये statistics
Sir,
नहीं है.
if I
Sambita will not answer. You know, Sambita? Abhi,
sir, if 100 people get COVID affected, 4 or 5 out of them may die.
how Abhi could answer? Why Sambita you could not answer? वो फिगर में से जानने के बाद कुछ slightly कुछ is it of any help to us, Sambita? Don't tell me kid I'm asking rubbish, stupid questions. Aliva,
Yes, sir. It will help us.
क्या कैसे?
Sir, it will help us to know that what is
अरे
the.
हमारा तो पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट होगा, हम बच जाएंगे.
Take precautions, sir.
See, 95% people are getting cured. Okay, तो उम्मीद तो होगा अरे भाई हम बच जाएंगे शायद. Very high hope कि कुछ नहीं होगा. So that hope at least you know. Suppose मान लो कि it is just the opposite, reverse, very very lethal. Okay, then it is even without courage also many people will die. Okay, So when we got vaccine and it became less than 1%, okay, 99.6% could survive. It's less than 1%. What I'm just trying to suggest, earlier we were not knowing that figure. Now this figure we are telling about the population. Now my objective of telling you all this background story is, whenever you have information about the population or parameter, those tests will be called parametric test. And if you do not have any parameter value information, you cannot apply those parametric tests. Repeat, if you do not have any prior idea about the parameter population, you cannot apply those tests which you have read so far. Ashish, what are the tests we have covered so far? Semester 1 से लेके आज कल last class तक.
सर एफ टेस्ट हो गया, chi-square हो गया, Z test हो गया,
T-test, last sample test, chi-square test, और this semester में F test.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now those tests cannot be applied. क्यों, Sarada? You remember the first and foremost test formula, last test, Z test का formula, Sarada याद है? What is the numerator of Z test formula? Anyone who can answer? फटाफट बोलो. Sarada अच्छुना कौन रे? फ्री जाएगा. Am I audible? शिवानी स्वारो. अरे बोल रे शिवानी.
Yes, sir. Z is equals to x bar minus mu.
हाँ सुन, x बार को क्या बोलेंगे? अभी जो शुरू किया आज, x बार क्या है? स्टैटिस्टिक है.
पैरामीटर है.
पैरामीटर है. फ्रॉम द फॉर्मूला. अरे कोई जगाओ शारदा को. शारदा क्या हो गया? अच्छा प्रॉब्लम है. Looking at the formula, you know that formula needs parameter. You remember that, Gautami? So in the formula, we need mu. Sharada, you got disconnected somehow. Okay. What we are telling, if you look to the formula, what we had covered earlier in Z test, last sample test, in the numerator, you had x bar minus mu. X bar was what? Statistic. Mu was what? Parameter. So, though we had not discussed, please all of you remember, those formula directly, indirectly required parametric value. Now, I can give you so many examples where you do not know about the population. Abhi shuru kar raha tha, initial stages of COVID. Say, for example, ocean, deep sea, below the deep sea. Kya hai? Now we have, our civilization has survived more than 3,000-4,000. Na jane how many people might have gone under deep sea. So Abhik, I think human must have seen entire deep sea. Haan ya na?
No, sir.
No, it's so vast water body on earth. We might not have inspected inch by inch. You might have traveled sea in few kilometers. Okay. So you do not know the entire population information. I can give so many other examples. So in those cases, you have to resort to some other method, which we are going to discuss today. That is called non-parametric test. And insert, we'll be calling it NPT. Okay. Have I introduced the requirement of NPT? So if a question comes, why and when we need to use NPT, so you can write in your own word at least 2 sentences the requirement of studying NPT. Ashish, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is my screen visible, Ashish?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Before we introduce NPT, I would like to have a quick recap of concept of testing of hypothesis, which you had started also in the last class. We'll be running through very fast, but you can stop me anywhere. So as you can see, today we'll be quickly reviewing the concept of testing of hypothesis and the decision rule and difference between parametric and NPT, which we have already covered, and we'll solve some numerical example of NPT. Shreya, what is NPT?
Non-parametric test.
I thought you'll be telling non-proliferation treaty. Okay. So as you recall, we have to have one hypothesis, which we discussed in the last class, that it is something, a research statement, and this can be put in two ways, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Okay. These are the steps I have been repeating many times. We have got 4 steps. What are the 4 steps, Aliva? You have to have hypothesis, use the formula, third, calculated
Calculation.
value, compare with tabulated
Compare
value,
tabulated
then
value.
you conclude. How do we conclude? What is the decision rule? कैसे decide करते हैं?
Sir, if the value is more than the
If
critical
calculated
value,
value is
more than the
less,
critical,
less we accept, more we reject.
reject.
Okay? All of you remember, this same thing will be applying today in NPT also. NPT will also have those 4 steps. Ashish, is okay? Now,
Yes,
this is what we have studied in the semester 1. This is the standard format of most of the formula of testing of hypothesis. In numerator, you have a difference and divided by standard error. The same logic will be applying today. Remember this. And this is the family of different tests we had covered. We had last sample test, Z test, we had T and chi-square covered in last semester. This semester we have covered F test, right, Shivani? Then, if you remember what we had in the numerator, the difference, if it is within this white area, then what we'll do? What will be our decision, Shivani?
So we will
Agar
accept
वो value is within the tolerable limit. This is the upper limit of our tolerance. This is the lower limit of our tolerance. If the value, calculated value, comes within the white area, what should be our decision?
accept.
We should
that we
Accept.
will accept that.
The other two are critical region. This we accept. This is the fundamental concept you should all remember. And hope you have not forgotten the concept of one-tail, two-tail test. Any volunteer who can tell the difference between one-tail, two-tail? Jaldi bolo, quick review. Am I not asking you? कोई तो बोलो.
वन टेल का मतलब बेसिकली किसी एक तरफ क्रिटिकल रीजन होगा, टू टेल का दोनों तरफ क्रिटिकल रीजन होगा. सपोज इन केस ऑफ ब्लड शुगर व्हिच वी गिव अस एग्जांपल लास्ट ईयर, दैट ब्लड शुगर अगर हाई होगा तो भी प्रॉब्लम है, लो होगा तो भी प्रॉब्लम है. अगर और बाइक का माइलेज अगर लो होगा तो प्रॉब्लम है, अगर इससे ज्यादा होगा तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
All of you remember that, Sandita? Clear?
Yes, sir.
If one side is unacceptable to us, we will not be happy. We are unhappy, critical, and that area is on one side, that will be called one-tail test. If our criticality, unhappiness, unacceptability lies on both the side to extreme value, then that will be two-tail test. This should also come in exam as objective question. Please remember. And this is what we had discussed in the last semester. This is part of your syllabus. Don't forget that. And you should be in a position to differentiate with some examples. Clear? Now, moving forward, this formula will not be using all these examples of parametric formula. Okay? If you can see in the numerator, it is using mu value. Mu value is called parameter. Sambita, right? Now, going ahead, hope you remember 4a. When we use 4a, any volunteer? And what is P? Both of me. गौतमी बोल, नहीं तो अभी अभी क्विज कराएंगे. You are not audible, Shreya.
Sir, chi-square test.
नहीं रे.
A single sample.
Test of proportion. P stands for proportion. Absolute की value की जगह, if we are checking some proportion, say UP election exit poll जो काल दिखाया गया, say if you are putting it the popularity in terms of proportion, suppose 40% voters prefer this party, 20% voters like this party. So 20%, 40%, if you are expressing these values as fraction, proportion, you'll be using formula like this, which is called test of proportion. This formula, all of you write it down. This will be used in NPT. And there was a typing mistake here. If you remember, this should be capital P, capital Q. Please remember this. Okay. And this divisor is called what? This divisor is called what?
Standard error.
Expected.
Very good, very good. Thank you, thank you. All of you should participate like this. So this is what we had discussed. This is not required now. T-test I will be using chi-square formula Shivani. Formula is like this way. And this I think we have already discussed. Let's not waste your time. And particularly last line, you have to note it down that many times we do not know parameters. So we have to go for non-parametric test. Okay, this is what we have already discussed. Non-parametric test is also known as distribution free or NPT. Okay, in non-parametric test, as Sambita was showing, so far as our syllabus is concerned, we have three types of tests. One, sign test, another rank-sum test given by Mann Whitney, and third is Ron test or one sample Ron test. Okay, these are the three things we'll be discussing it. Okay, now we'll be discussing a case. Case title is written here. Which type of lecture method is effective? Large duration lecture method or short duration lecture method? Just to save time, usually I leave it to class so that you suggest. Just to save time, let me tell you the background. All of you please pay attention, listen to me so that your interpretation analysis will be clear, convincing. In almost B schools, including IIMs, it is often debated what should be the ideal timing of a lecture. Even at KSM also, it is no exception. They have experimented many time slots. I have completed here 15 years. Before KIT, I have already served 22 years in government university. Everywhere they debate whether shorter duration is better or longer duration is better. And let me tell you, even in KSM, they had experimented 60-minute class, 70 minutes class, 75 minutes class, 90-minute class. Again, they went back to again 75. Now we are continuing with 90-minute class since last 4 or 5 years. When I'm asking, it is always debatable. Hope you understand the difference between the pros and cons of both the methods. What is the meaning of both the methods, Assis?
Very good.
Both the methods.
But
What are both the methods?
The duration of the class.
Large duration and small duration.
तो आशीष सुन नहीं रहा है.
Yes, sir.
Are you looking towards your kitchen or what? कुछ
Yes.
पक रहा है उधर? Or
No,
you
sir.
are like thinking कि sir बोल रहे हैं large या small? वो large small के बीच में तू फंस गया बेचारा. Aliva Gujre, large, Ashish likes large always. So he is into another thinking, ये सार क्या सवेरे सवेरे बोल रहे हैं, large चाहिए या small चाहिए सवेरे. So when I'm taking large, Ashish beta, it's not that large, what you may be thinking, large
No.
lecture duration, right? So for that, often different schools ask different stakeholders. What is the meaning of stakeholders in this case, Sandita?
Student.
Sir, head of the school.
Very good. Head of the school, full stop. Itisri Pushti, who are the stakeholders in this case?
Students.
Students. Gautami. अरे तेरा ऑडियो प्रॉब्लम है रे, गौतमी नहीं हो रहा है, ट्राई करना. संबिता.
Sir, lecturers and students, both are the stakeholders.
Should you not consider poor teachers also इतिश्री? जो पढ़ा रहे हैं उनको भूल जाते हो. So the debate is जो पढ़ाते हैं, जो सुनते हैं, पढ़ते हैं, दोनों का डिफिकल्टी समझो. Suppose मान लो कि 60 minutes, one comes, takes roll call, and you like introduction, everything, you take 10 minutes, then winding up another 5 minutes, you hardly left with 40 minutes. If you take a long case, long chapter, time will be insufficient. And 90 minutes, there could be a risk, there will be fatigue, some people may not concentrate. So दोनों तरफ हो सकता है. That is pros and cons. Okay. So for that, what is done? They have taken 40 stakeholders and they have taken their opinion. All of you are looking to the data now or not? Screenshot लिया था नहीं लिया था शिवानी?
सर मैं थोड़ा सा लेट ज्वाइन की.
ग्रुप में है शिवानी, ग्रुप में है.
All of you should have data. भास्कर ने शेयर किया है. Anybody by chance who has taken extra interest and gone through the description of the case? Oh, rating क्या है संबिता? Anybody volunteer? अरे कोई तो इंटरेस्ट शो करो.
Sir, there are two types of classes, like you mentioned, large lectures and small lectures. यहाँ पर 16 पैनल मेंबर्स हैं, उन लोगों को मतलब स्कोर देने के लिए बोला गया है.
हाँ, 4 का मतलब क्या?
That which one would you prefer? Like that. So.
You ask them to put the rating. Okay. किसी ने 4 दिया. 4 का मतलब क्या?
Sir, agree means.
Maheshwata Panda.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir is a bad answer. Answer बोल नहीं तो पास कर.
So I'm just looking at the question.
Sir, for चार
दीपशिखा, रुको. दीपशिखा, Aditi Bhardani. All of you switch on video.
Yes, sir.
I'll ask those who have not switched on video. Sambit Sahu बोल रहे. Sambit Sahu, are you attending my class? या बाजार में कुछ खरीद रहा है? Aditi Bhardani, you are not attending class. Divyajyoti Mahanti, what is my question?
Sir, your question was, so what do you mean by score for large lectures?
Thank you. At least he remembers the question. Haritra, what is the question?
Sir, you said what does 4 mean? Like in
हाँ
the
हाँ बोल पाएगी?
sir, maybe it has the highest and the lowest.
प्रोडक्ट खाई चलो ना खाऊ रे अरित्रा बोल रहे
So maybe it means like how 1 is the highest and 4 is the like lowest preference, something like that.
नहीं, you are guessing, you are not read, you have not read. No guess, dear. You should
Sir,
honestly, you should honestly tell him I have not read. Don't misguide. Soham, Somsen,
Yes, sir.
yes sir is a bad answer. Yes sir. Sir is here, you are there. Yes sir. इसलिए ऑनलाइन मोड चूज किया. Why people you have not come to campus? कंबल के अंदर सोना बहुत बढ़िया है. ड्यू टू कोविड तो बुझिलु ना ओडिया तते गाली देवी बुझ परिबनु कोविड घर पे रखा है कोविड को बांध के कोविड ड्यू टू कोविड. अभी तो कहां पर है बाजार में या रेस्टोरेंट में है बोल. इन क्वारंटाइन इधर आके क्वारंटाइन करना हमारे पास हॉस्पिटल है. बोलो बोलो टाइम सेव करो अलीबा. Those who have read
Yes,
the
sir. Sir, 4 means the highest preference is given for large.
if you are very clear, suppose you are panel number 2, Aliba is panel number 2. Okay, suppose she gives large 4, small 1. What does it mean, Shreya?
The highest excellent is large, 4.
She prefers large. Can we conclude that? Suppose Maheshwata has given 2 and 2. What is the meaning of that? Maheshwata he bol.
So is it like prefers both of them? I mean, either of it is okay. Either I'm okay.
Others will understand. You are given 2 means बाकी लोग को क्या पता चलेगा? ये क्या चाहिए?
So that I'm okay with either large lectures or कोई भी चले.
माहेश्वता बोल रही है सार दे रहे हैं तो लार्ज चलेगा स्मॉल भी चलेगा कुछ भी चलेगा. So ये भी हो सकता है. Now why I'm just telling 2. Can anybody guess and tell what exactly we are verifying here? Why we are collecting this data? Who can help me?
Sir, to
decide the duration of the class.
One by one, Avik then Aliba.
Sir, to decide the duration of the class, which will be most effective, sir?
To decide the duration. Okay, Aliba, then Aditra. Fatapat bolo. 30 seconds.
That, sir, which is more effective?
Which
That
is better?
duration-
Which is better? Which is better? Shorter classes will be better, more effective, or longer class is also okay. Okay. Now, in that context, जो मैं महेश्वता को बोला था, पूछा था, suppose one tells दोनों चलेगा. That kind of score will be सुन लो पहले सुन लो serious, take it seriously, will be good for us or one who is clear कि नहीं ये नहीं वो चाहिए. Let me repeat the question. Maheshwata सुन रहे. You got 40 responses. When I'm telling 40 responses, column wise देख. Panel number 1, large को कितना स्कोर दिया, small को कितना स्कोर दिया. Panel number 2, large को कितना स्कोर दिया, small को कितना स्कोर दिया. Are you getting my point? Now, if somebody has given equal score, now my question is, थोड़ा सुन लो question को. If you have got a tie case, वो tie case वाला welcome situation or unwelcome situation? Is my question clear?
unwelcome situation.
Wow, wow. All of you, those who have raised hand, are you having the same answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, हमें decide करना था कि stakeholder क्या चाहते हैं, which is better. Okay, so if you got a clear-cut scoring, that would have helped us in deciding clearly. Okay, so if one tie case is there, that is actually not good for us. Now, suppose जिन लोगों ने हमें previous formula दे चुके हैं, those who have invented those formula, a person like Sambita or Chandita, they wanted to come up with a very simple trick. Testing a hypothesis में without using much of calculation mathematics, कैसे इस type question को answer कर सकते हैं. सुनो, how they have done it, how scientist has come. The person who invented scientist, they thought कि first row को लिखो, second row को लिखो, and take the difference of respective values. यह सुन रहा है या पोएट्री लिख रहा है?
सुन रहा हूँ सर.
हाँ, सुन रहे. So जो column wise values है ना, उसका difference लिखो. How many differences you will get? Yes. तो सुन रहा है, समझ नहीं रहा है. Listening, hearing का difference होता है बेटा.
40.
Yes, yes, yes. Are you angry? सुन रहे, participate कर. So 40 values होंगे. That person suggested जो actual value मिलेगा difference का भूल जाओ. Only note down the sign. अगर नेगेटिव में आ रहा है पुट माइनस साइन, अगर पॉजिटिव में आ रहा है पुट प्लस साइन. ठीक है, मास्टर तो सुन रहे. देन यू काउंट हाउ मेनी प्लस साइंस, हाउ मेनी माइनस साइंस, एंड जीरो जो है जीरो को इग्नोर करो. ओके, नाउ सुनो. सिमरन, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 टू यू. चंदिता, क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 टू यू. शिवानी, क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 टू यू. सिमरन, अगर हमें ज्यादातर प्लस साइन मिला, प्लस साइंस आउट नंबर माइनस साइंस, उस सिनेरियो में क्या इन्फर करेंगे? व्हाट वी शुड इन्फर कंक्लूड? इज माय क्वेश्चन क्लियर?
Yes, sir. So I think then we can say that the rating of score of larger lecture is more. So
इतना लंबा सेंटेंस बोल रही है. कैन यू टेल कि लार्ज मेथड इज बेटर?
Yes, sir.
सिंपल. चंदिता, अगर माइनस साइन आउट नंबर प्लस साइन, उस सिचुएशन में क्या कंक्लूजन होगा, क्यों होगा?
So smaller.
स्मॉल लेक्चर बेटर. ओके,
Small lecture better.
एंड ऑलमोस्ट बराबर है शिवानी, तो क्या बोलेंगे?
सर वो दोनों भी चलेगा, लार्ज भी और स्मॉल भी.
ना दोनों पे चलेगा. महेश्वता टाइप, शिवानी टाइप, दोनों पे चलेगा. उस सिचुएशन को, सिचुएशन 1 सिमरन बोली, सिचुएशन 2 चंदिता बोली. नाउ व्हाट वी आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट, दोनों ऑलमोस्ट इक्वल. उस टाइप का सिचुएशन का डीपर इंटरप्रिटेशन कोई बोल पाएगा? इज एनीबडी गेटिंग सम मीनिंग स्पिरिट between the lines? Situation number 3. What is the implication? Am I making it complicated?
Sir, we are indifferent to any of the score, means any of the duration, large or small.
हाँ, तो can I? Okay, I am not troubling you. महेश्वता ये बोल सकते हैं क्या? Time for us doesn't matter. I think something else matters. Teacher and the quality teaching. Suppose Maheshwata knows Subudhi is super stupid. Even if the class duration is 30 minutes, she will definitely sleep. If a teacher is interesting, topic is interesting, even if it is for 2 hours, will you agree with me that students will listen with patience? So third time situation अगर कभी होता है, so the deeper meaning implication, all of you don't forget, it's not the time which matters always. what the teaching and the content matters for us. Okay, so if I have tried to convince you to some extent at least, कोई मुझे बेल आउट करो 2 मिनट में समझाओ, I have not given you the formula. साइंटिस्ट क्या है जिन सज्जनों ने दिया है, what is the logic of drawing deriving conclusion? Yes, can I trouble you dear?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, साइंटिस्ट में होता क्या है? अर्पण नारायण भाईदार, गेट रेडी, सब्स्टिट्यूट। और जस बेटा बोल, नहीं तो पास कर, डोंट वेस्ट टाइम।
सब पास।
हाँ, दिव्यज्योति ट्राई करेगा। अरे अनम्यूट करो, पास तो बोलना।
पास सर।
हाँ, कुमार आदित्य सो रहा है। सारे ये ऑनलाइन का फायदा ले रहे हैं। प्रत्युष बेहरा कहाँ पर है?
ये सर।
बाजार में हो?
नो सर।
बोलना, बोल पाएगा?
पास सर।
हाँ, वेरी गुड, तू ही पास करेगा MBA। इतिश्री परिडा अनम्यूट कर रहे। बढ़िया, तोर ऑनलाइन पाठटा भल हम। निर्भीक टेक ओवर। अरे अनम्यूट करना।
Sir, it is a non-parametric or distribution-free test where there are two samples are taken.
बस हो गया। साइंटिस्ट में ऐसे होता है। संविदा टेक ओवर। साइंटिस्ट में व्हाट इज द लॉजिक, व्हाट द प्रोसेस, कैसे करते हैं? जोर से बोल रहे। एनी वॉलंटियर?
Yes, sir. Based on the difference of the two scores, if the sign is positive or negative, I think the name scientist has come from there.
साइंटिस्ट का मीनिंग जो है, डिफरेंस का साइन नोट करो। हाउ मेनी प्लस साइन, हाउ मेनी माइनस साइन काउंट करो। अगर ज्यादातर प्लस साइन है, फर्स्ट मेथड इज प्रिफर्ड। ज्यादातर नेगेटिव साइन है, सेकंड मेथड इज प्रिफर्ड। टाई कैसे? दोनों बराबर है। बस 2 सेंटेंस। यस यस, क्या हो गया आज तेरे को? यस, तेरा वोल्टेज लो है आज बहुत।
सर
बोलो।
सर, अगर हमारा कंक्लूजन 0 है तो मींस अगर हमारा रिजल्ट 0 है तो उसका कंक्लूजन क्या होगा फिर?
नहीं, रिजल्ट तो 0 नहीं होगा। हमने
सर,
बोले,
अगर
सुन ले, ये जो असम्पशन है, 0 वाला केस को इग्नोर करना पड़ेगा। यू विल ओनली कंसंट्रेट ऑन नंबर ऑफ प्लस साइंस एंड नंबर ऑफ माइनस साइन। दोनों को कंपेयर करो, व्हिच इज हायर। वही तो बोले थे ना संबिता शारदा।
Sir, what if at the end we see both are equal, sir?
हाँ, वही तो बोल रहे रे, बोथ नंबर्स आर इक्वल। गौतमी बोल रहे हैं 0 केस, वो 0 केस नहीं है, दोनों बराबर है।
तो अगर सर, अगर हमारा बराबर हो गया तो जो हमारा पहले से चल रहा है, अगर हम जैसे स्मॉल ड्यूरेशन का क्लास ले रहे हैं तो हम उस पे स्टक रह जाएंगे। अगर हम लार्ज ले रहे हैं तो उस टेस्ट का तो कोई फिर मतलब नहीं हुआ ना।
ठीक ठीक ठीक। संबिता, हैव यू गॉट द गुड इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन ऑफ गौतमी? कैन यू कमेंट? जल्दी बोलो। देन आशीष। संबिता गौतमी को एड्रेस कर, गौतमी को एड्रेस कर।
As it is 0, it doesn't matter at all to calculate whether the small deviation is good or large deviation is good. So just ignore it. There is no require. If you have extra data, why would you prefer to add more and more data? Just stick to the required amount of data and we will calculate for it.
But sir, I had a question, sir.
हाँ, बोल अरित्रा।
So you talked about like when both are equal, both are coming equal. Then you talked about other variables like how the teacher is teaching.
नहीं, वो मैं बोला कि इम्प्लीकेशन क्या हो सकता है। That will be source thinking. Okay, we should think in that direction. The conclusion is दोनों बराबर है। 3 situations. What are the 3 situations, अरित्रा? फर्स्ट मैंने बोला प्लस साइंस ज्यादा है, ठीक है। In that situation number 1, what is the conclusion?
So large will be
First
better.
method better. Second situation is minus signs are higher. In that situation, what is the conclusion?
Second situation is better.
Third situation जो दोनों बराबर है 50-50. That situation we are telling it doesn't matter. Large be okay with students and stakeholders. Small is also okay. In that situation हमने बोला कि we can also think शायद ये imply करता है कि maybe like teaching quality, teacher, that is matter. Okay, important. Okay. Now let's see. We'll discuss that. Good, Aditya. Now this is what all of you have written. How many of you have written row wise 1 to 40, 3 rows? Raise your hand. How many of you have written already in notebook? So हम नहीं किया ना. 100% guarantee तूने नहीं लिखा होगा. लेजी फेलो. MBA करने के बाद 2 साल के बाद ही तू लिखेगा. बदमाश. लिख रहे जल्दी. नोटबुक को हॉरिजॉन्टल लिख 1 2 3 4 40 लिख के बोल मुझे बोल मैं आई एम वेटिंग फॉर यू. फिर लिख दिया. फर्स्ट लिखो 1 to 40, सेकंड डाटा लाइन लिखो, थर्ड डाटा लाइन लिखो. कंप्लीट करो फटाफट. I'm showing you the data. These are the data. Hope you have with you, or write column wise so that you draw one line below that and just note down the difference sign only. You score 1 minus score 2 minus आ रहा है plus आ रहा है. You have to like write plus and minus. Screen दिख रहा है आशीष. Then you count number of plus signs. Aritra.
So number of plus sign is 19. Number of minus
Very
sign
good,
is
very good.
11.
Thank you, Aliva. Aliva is first to do that. Others should do that. Take it seriously from exam point of view. Arpan Bhaidar, शाम तक हो पाएगा रे?
हाँ sir.
Plus sign is 19 and minus sign is 11 and 0.
Sir, after writing the numbers, 40 numbers horizontally, what should I do, sir? Only write the total number of plus signs and total number of minus signs.
Aliva, address अभी क्या करना है?
Address, sorry. Abhik.
मुझे लाल चाहिए.
Avik, you have to first write the total number of columns, that is 40. Then their scores, that is for large lectures. Then for scores for the small lectures, then you will write the difference of large lecture and small lecture. Then you will count the sign of that difference. That is, if it is plus, you will count the plus signs only. If it is minus, if you will count the minus sign only. Then you will compare which is large, whether it is small, whether it is plus sign or minus sign.
आप पहले count करो how many plus sign. You write number of plus sign equal to this, number of minus sign equal to this, number of zeros equal to this. Write that. Arpan Bhaidar, you got Levin's book है क्या?
No sir.
किताब मिला था स्कूल से?
नहीं 11th book नहीं मिला है.
नहीं मिला?
नहीं sir.
अरे शिवानी किताब?
सर मिला है.
अरे भास्कर बेटा देख रहे अर्पण का क्या हुआ?
Sir, number of plus signs is 19, number of minus signs is 11, and number of zeros are 10, sir.
Very good, very good. निर्वेक, अरे शाम तक हो पाएगा?
Sir, doing sir.
हाँ इसीलिए तो बोल रहा है शाम तक होगा नहीं होगा. जल्दी करो ना, बाकी लोग वेट कर रहे हैं. Itisri, Prushti, over.
Yes, sir.
Those who found how many plus sign, minus sign, zero, raise your hand so that I can check. Only 15 out of 42. Sambita, you have not done.
No, sir, I've done it in a row wise. Now I have to do it in column wise also.
अरे row wise तो होगा ना? Why you are writing column wise?
फिर आपने तो कहा ना shit.
कहाँ मैंने कहा? Okay, others will join. And those who have done, please concentrate. Aliva, Shibani, Shriya, सुन रहे? Today morning I told hypothesis is a must for every testing of hypothesis, including NPT. Okay. Now, can you guess? Though we have not discussed so far, थोड़ा guess करो. What should be perhaps null hypothesis here? All of you participate. Maheshwata, सुन रहे? Participate. Simran,
Yes, sir.
Simran,
Yes, sir.
you wanted to answer?
No, sir. Previously, I raised hand, so.
Avik, bol.
Sir, as there are the plus signs are more than minus signs, so the hypothesis should be that larger classes are more effective, sir.
तो कहाँ पर है?
घर पे सर.
तेरा घर किधर है?
सर हावड़ा पे.
Ask repeater. अरे what is my question?
सर हाइपोथेसिस का क्या होगा सर?
Null hypothesis क्या होगा?
हाँ.
तो क्या बोल रहा है?
सर कि लार्जर क्लासेस बेटर है, वही बोल रहा हूँ.
सेकंड अटेम्प्ट. नॉल हाइपोथेसिस में हमेशा नो डिफरेंस होता था, नहीं होता था? तो उस हिसाब से सोच के बताना चाहिए था कि दोनों शायद बराबर है. स्टेक होल्डर को देयर इज नो डिफरेंस बिटवीन द इफेक्टिवनेस ऑफ large lecture and small lecture. Okay, if that is the case, Sarada, if our null hypothesis is to be believed and accepted, उस हिसाब से हमें प्लस साइन माइनस साइन किस हिसाब से मिलना चाहिए? Is my question clear, Sarada? Aritra?
Sir, can you please repeat?
I will not repeat. Aliva, बोल.
सर नॉल हाइपोथेसिस के हिसाब से सर होना चाहिए प्लस साइन, नंबर ऑफ प्लस साइन शुड बी इक्वल टू नंबर ऑफ माइनस साइन.
वेरी गुड. 50-50 होना चाहिए. So if it will be proportional 50-50, please recall our testing of hypothesis discussion in semester 1. वहां भी कैपिटल P को हमने 0.5 माने थे. So in null hypothesis we have to assume capital P is 0.5. कैपिटल P is 0.5 का मतलब क्या है अरित्रा? ट्राई करके बोल.
So that's the significant level.
अरे ना रे, तू 0.5 को 5% कंफ्यूज कर रही है. संबिता?
So 50% of chance.
अरे 50-50 रे, दोनों मेथड बराबर है.
हाँ.
दोनों मेथड बराबर. There is no difference between method 1 method 2. ठीक है? So now capital P H0 is 0.5 always taken. Please remember this. Okay. Now I think all of you have got this. If you have not got, save time. All of you write number of plus sign मिला 19, number of minus sign 11 and 0 बाकी. So 0 को ignore करने के बाद what is the revised sample size हुआ? संबिता, पहले 40 था, but 0 को ignore करेंगे तो अभी revised sample size क्या है?
30.
All of you write revised sample size n equals to 30. ये दिख रहा है, मैंने n लिखा है, रिवाइज स्क्रीन दिख रहा है? अरे हाँ या ना बोल रहे.
हाँ सर.
स्मॉल p क्या? शिवम प्रधान, स्मॉल p का मीनिंग क्या?
टोटल.
जो टोटल प्लस साइन है डिवाइडेड बाय n. शिवम ट्राई करके बोल, यहाँ इन दिस केस स्मॉल p क्या होगा? शारदा
19/30.
Sorry,
19/30.
all of you write here, write in notebook. Here, small p equals to 19/30. Which is not clear? Bhaskar, clear? Small p is 19/30. Those who recall the formula, this PPT I'll send you, don't worry. So, null hypothesis, alternate hypothesis is like this. Now, please remember, the formula should be like this. जो लेविन्स बुक में है उसको भूल जाओ. I think this will be simple to remember. All of you write, the formula will be Z equals to small p minus capital P by standard error. आशीष सोच के बता पाएगा? आशीष, then इतिश्री पुष्टि. What will be standard error here?
Standard error, sir. Sir, 10.
Standard error का formula इतिश्री परिणाम.
Okay, sir.
इतिश्री पुष्टि.
Sir, n-1.
तो कौन हो जी इतिश्री? n-1 standard error. अलीवा?
Sir, root over of capital P into small p by n.
Capital P, capital Q by n ray.
Sorry, capital Q. Sorry.
Itisri Pushti, easy question. Why you confused ray? Itisri Pushti. All of you write standard error equals to. All of you write please where standard error equals to capital P into capital Q by small n whole under root. भास्कर सुन रहा है या भाग गया? कैपिटल Q क्या है? अरे भास्कर कम से कम तो पास करना चाहिए ना. नहीं शारदा, व्हाट इज कैपिटल Q? हाँ, सो स्टैंडर्ड एरर निकाल सकते हो. इन Levin's book, those who have got book, hope you have already found. This is standard error already computed. Fine. आप calculate करो. Now this is the formula given by Levin's book, but I would suggest you please use this simple formula. ये bar p as 0 don't write, simple write small p minus capital P divided by standard error. ठीक है? Now कितना मिला? What is final Z value? Has anybody computed? All of you compute what is Z value?
Sir, 1.462.
1.462, sir.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Avik. Avik फिर से बोल कितना मिला?
1.462, sir.
Very good. खुद किया या लेविन्स बुक रेफर करके बोला?
Sir, दोनों sir.
I like your honesty. You are honest. I could read from your face. तो देख लिया था किताब.
पहले देख लिया था सर.
मुझे पता चल जाता है तो क्या कर रहा है. आशीष तो खुद कैलकुलेट करके बोल.
Yes, sir. बोल रहा हूँ.
Sir, 1.462.
हाँ ठीक है, 1.46 होगा तो ठीक है. Anybody having doubt, please ask us. If you are not knowing how ये कैसे हो रहा है. How many of you are not clear? Raise your hand. How many of you are not clear? Raise your hand. Asurya, Ipsita, you are there? You are not audible. Avinash Patnaik, you are there?
Sir.
Is it clear, Asurya?
Yes, sir.
Pakka, 100%?
Yes, sir. With some practice, it will be properly clear.
Are you going to contest election or you are having diplomatic political statement?
No, sir.
You are taking advantage of online education. Bol,
No, sir.
how they have computed this? Siddhant Acharya, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
I am sure, Siddhant is sure. I am sure, Aishwarya Ipsita is not sure. Thakko,
Sir, sir, nice sir.
thakko.
Sir, practice
तो
करेंगे
बदमाश,
it will be sure.
तो बदमाश. मजा उठा रहे हो ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन. ओके, वंस यू फाइंड द कैलकुलेटेड वैल्यू, ये जो मिला इसको क्या बोलेंगे आशीष?
जेड वैल्यू.
कैलकुलेटेड वैल्यू. यू आर एट स्टेप 3. स्टेप 4 में क्या करेंगे सरदा?
विल कंपेयर विद टेबुलर वैल्यू.
टैबुलेटेड वैल्यू कितना होता है लास्ट सैंपल टेस्ट में? 1.96. All of you draw a normal curve and plot this calculated value and tabulated value. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? निर्भीक बेरा वीडियो क्यों स्विच अप किया रे? माय सोता खाए पड़े लुक रे?
No, sir. No, sir.
Aritra, you got digital pen?
Yes, sir.
Share kar, screen share kar. All of you look to the screen of Aritra. I'll be asking randomly those who have not switched on video. आप देखो नहीं तो पूछो अरिद्रा को. Draw normal curve. सेंटर में क्या होगा वैल्यू? जेड वैल्यू कितना सेंटर में? अरित्रा बोलते जा रहे.
Sir, 0.
0. वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. 1.46 लेफ्ट साइड में होगा या राइट हैंड साइड में?
सर राइट साइड पे.
हाँ, वन वर्टिकल लाइन ड्रा कर अरित्रा. नीचे लिख 1.46. ठीक है. नाउ दिस इज कैलकुलेटेड वैल्यू. सोहम सेन, व्हाट इज tabulated वैल्यू? 1.96. Soham Sen,
Yes,
to
sir.
be on extreme left or middle portion?
The middle portion, sir.
Sorry, फिर से बोल.
In the middle portion, sir. Middle portion.
तू तो चैंपियन है.
Extreme right, sir.
जानबूझ के तुझे कंफ्यूज कर रहा था. 1.46. अरे रे रुक रे हरिद्रा. 1. ये क्यों किया? अंडू कर. अंडू हो सकता है? नॉर्मल कर्व कर. हरिद्रा सुन रही रे? हाँ, 1.46 के बाद एक और वर्टिकल लाइन खींचना. 1.96. कलर चेंज कर, ब्लू या ब्लैक. हरिद्रा 1.46 के बाद हाँ या ना बोलना, तो अनम्यूट करके रखना हरिद्रा. हाँ, 1.46 के बाद 1. उसके आगे शेडिंग करना पड़ेगा हरिद्रा. अरे यार तू सुनता नहीं रे, कोई गाइड कर रहे. तीसरी पुष्टि उसको 1.96 के बाद. हाँ,
1.96 के बाद ये करो.
आरित्र वहाँ पे वो ब्लू लाइन के नीचे 1.96 लिख दो.
वो हो गया. 1.96 लिख दो बस.
हरिद्रा, आर यू नाउ गेटिंग इट और नॉट?
Yes, sir.
पहले 1.46 से शेडिंग किया था. सिद्धांत आचार्य, व्हाट इज द शेडिंग एरिया, शेडेड एरिया कॉल्ड?
Sir, right.
भगवान जाने. राहुल पाठक.
सैंपल सर.
वेरी गुड. जरा क्यूटी टीचर कौन है राहुल? ये क्यूटी टीचर को फायर करना पड़ेगा. शिवम प्रधान, ये शेडेड एरिया को क्या बोलते हैं रे? सौम्यजीत माइती, शिवम प्रधान, कोई बोलो.
क्रिटिकल रीजन.
क्रिटिकल रीजन. सौम्यजीत को सुनो. राहुल पाठक, क्या हो रहा है? So the 1.46 is in critical region or before critical region?
So before critical.
Before
So
critical region.
what will be the conclusion, Shivam? will be accepting null hypothesis or rejecting?
Accept.
Accept. Okay, Aritra, ऊपर लिख रहे white person, since calculated value, फटाफट like speed. Since calculated value within bracket 1.46 is less than tabulated value within bracket 1.96, comma. So we have to accept null hypothesis. Okay, all of you write this concluding statement. Full stop. Stop sharing. Okay. Sharada, your network is okay. Summarize. यहाँ तक. What are the question in sign test? What we have done? 2 minutes में बढ़िया सा explain कर सभी को. जोर से बोल. Your network is okay.
Yes, sir.
बोल.
So first, we had taken panel and their opinion about the score for the large lecture and small lecture. Then we did the sign method. We used the sign method to find the difference between the score one large lecture and the small lecture. Then we found the total number of plus sign and total number of minus sign. That we got 30. Then we have the null hypothesis, like the number of plus sign is equal to number of minus sign. We have taken
Neha Singh, Sharada is audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, continue.
Yes. Then we have calculated the value of z.
Z का फॉर्मूला क्या है?
Small p minus capital P divided by standard error, that is square root of capital P, capital Q divided by n. That we got 1.465, and we have the tabular value 1.96. So our calculated value is less than the tabulated value, so we have to accept the null hypothesis.
Okay. Santanu Mishra, what is small p? How do we define Santanu Mishra small p?
Sorry, sir. Not
Answer बोल नहीं तो pass कर. Don't waste time.
pass.
Sneha, what is small p?
Test of proportion.
अरे स्मॉल p यहाँ क्या है, कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं? माहेश्वता बोल पाएगी?
So small p is calculated by total number of plus divided by revised n, that is 19 by 30, which is 0.63.
19 by
30. 30.
Revised sample size. Thank you, Maheश्wata. Well done. Sneha, why you didn't answer? Small p is number of plus sign by revised n. Okay. Now, what Maheshwata told, I asked her to repeat. Sometimes students confuse. They divide by 40. अगर 40 ले लिया तो मार्क 0 ही मिलेगा. सोम सेन सुना रहे. So take care. I'm just reminding you. I'm sharing from my experience. Sometimes students do that silly mistake. Not 40, but 30. Okay. Now, having concluded that null hypothesis is accepted. Shriya Sarkar, null hypothesis accepted means what? Can you elaborate? All of you listen to Shriya. I'll ask all of you. Please listen. All.
So that means that there is no difference between the large lecture and the small lecture. So we can interpret that is the effectiveness that of large lecture and the small lecture is not is not a determinant of the timing. Like it's not
Is
a
that
factor.
okay, Maheshwata? Is it clear? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Any question by anyone up to this on sign test? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Thank you. Itishri Parida, तोर पार्टिसिपेट कला बेलू तोर नेटवर्क कौन हो रे? Itisri Parida, your network is always bad, very bad. Though you are जानबूझ के कर रही है.
No, sir.
That's why like she has opted for online class. ये सार नहीं पूछ पाएंगे, नहीं बोलेगा, बढ़िया. Good strategy. On some class, my mind is not working.
In the solution, you took the tabulated value as 1.96. We will be given that, or you have to do it?
अभी your audio problem, not audible. अच्छा सुनो, ये this is the calculation what you have done. Small p minus capital P by standard error, ये मिला था, and we had plotted this. Aritra, thank you, you have done this. Aritra, you are there, you understood your mistake. Exam में that mistake you should not do it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Shading area tabulated value के बाद होता है. All of you note it down. Tabulated value के बाद ही होता है. ठीक है? And we have accepted this. And this is the conclusion. Null hypothesis is accepted, and further you can interpret. Right? Now, all of you take a screenshot. 14.1. This is the class assignment, compulsory. All of you must have to submit. Listen to me. On a fresh page of your notebook, write today's date, write your name and roll number, and copy the data, apply sign test. And Suno, 2 minutes, give me 2 minutes, all of you. Stop. Though this case is very small, can anybody please volunteer and just present the case? What we want to study here, karna kya hai, and what is the case? Anybody who can please? Tini Konda, you have not participated so far. Are you attending? Are you there?
Yes,
Or on a morning walk today? कहाँ पर है? पार्क में है? मॉर्निंग वॉक कर रही है?
घर पे हूँ.
हाँ, सो जा. Why you not switching on video? बोल, what is the question? अरे what is the question तो बोल कम से कम, श्रेया. कोई explain तो करो. Any volunteer? श्रेया, take over.
So there is the comparison of the employees' defective work before and after
Who
the
are you?
incentive.
Who are you?
So I am
The owner, sir, the manufacturer.
Yes, very good. Confident answer from yes. मैं बोल देता हूँ to save time. A company was trying, if we incentivize, employee will be motivated. इससे फायदा क्या होगा? Can we have less error, more efficiency? Say for example, assembling of computer parts. पहले बहुत error था. Suppose you declare कि अगर ठीक से करोगे, you'll be getting extra bonus या incentive. Now, before incentive, after incentive, you got this score. ठीक है? Yes. अगर हमें पता चला इंसेंटिव देने के बाद भी वही हालत है, कोई सिग्निफिकेंट इंप्रूवमेंट नहीं है, व्हाट यू विल डू? आई डिड नॉट रिमाइंड कि हु यू आर. श्रेया इसलिए पूछा था हु यू आर. व्हाट यू विल डू?
Stick back to the original.
Will not provide incentive.
इंसेंटिव क्यों दें? देने के बाद भी कुछ होता नहीं है. व्हाई यू आर वेस्टिंग मनी? सो कंपनी कैन टेक अ कॉल. सो ऑल ऑफ यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड कि हम यहाँ टेस्ट क्या कर रहे हैं, क्यों कर रहे हैं. Then your interpretation will be good. Okay. Now start. You need to solve it within 10 minutes. Exam में 10 minutes ही मिलेगा. Practice start.
सर डायग्राम बनाना पड़ेगा क्या?
बिल्कुल, हमने किए थे ना. And I will be sharing a link. आप लोग को अपलोड करना है in the Google link. All of you write today's date, your name and roll number. Can I stop sharing? All of you have taken screenshot. Aliva. Okay. Can anyone please confirm, check the link given on chat box? काम करा नहीं करा? संबिता थोड़ा देख तो. Is it opening?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So you have to upload your assignment here. All of you should submit within 10 minutes. Rishabh Jain, Alok Bhuya,
Yes, sir.
It's okay, all understood?
Yes, sir. So I'm just uploading the question.
Okay. Deepshikha, you're there?
Yes, sir.
Devapam,
Yes, sir. Doing, sir.
Bhaskar, can I close it now? You can comfortably upload within the next 5 minutes. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.